After a brief stint on the sidelines, Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga is eyeing a return to the court this Saturday as the team prepares to face the New Orleans Pelicans at home. Kaminga, who has been absent from the past 7 games due to what the organization has listed as bilateral knee tendonitis, took part in a scrimmage with the Warriors' G League affiliate on Wednesday, signaling that he is inching closer to being game-ready. Initially, there were reports suggesting that Kuminga's knee issues were minor, and he was considered a day-to-day player. However, persistent soreness has kept him from competing for over 2 weeks, delaying what many expected to be a quicker comeback. Kuminga began the season with a strong presence in the Warriors' starting lineup, taking the floor for the first 12 games and demonstrating enough promise to earn high praise from head coach Steve Kerr. Early in October, after a string of solid performances, Kerr indicated that the fifth-year forward had carved out a permanent role among the starters, reflecting both confidence in his abilities and the team's hopes for his continued development. Yet, as the calendar turned to November, inconsistencies in Kuminga's production and a broader team struggle led to a temporary reassignment to the second unit. His last game before the injury, which took place on November 12th in San Antonio, saw him come off the bench, a shift that highlighted the delicate balance between individual performance and team dynamics in a roster loaded with talent, but facing a challenging stretch of games. The Warriors are now looking at Kuminga's potential return with both optimism and necessity, as the team's offensive output has been underwhelming. Even when Stephen Curry is on the floor, Golden State's scoring has not reached the levels expected of a team with championship aspirations. Currently, the team ranks 22nd in the league in offensive rating, with an average of 113.2 points per 100 possessions. Notably, the 8 teams trailing them in this category are all at least 5 games below a .500 record, underscoring that the Warriors are operating in a tier above the bottom of the league, but still far from elite efficiency. In this context, Kuminga's scoring ability could offer a timely boost, particularly as the team faces the potential absence of its star guard. Curry himself experienced a setback on Wednesday during the Warriors' close 104-100 loss against the Houston Rockets. The 2-time NBA Most Valuable Player collided twice in the fourth quarter, resulting in a right quadriceps contusion that forced him to leave the game with just over 35 seconds remaining. One of the incidents involved a blocking foul on Houston's Amen Thompson, followed by a charge called during a drive to the basket. Upon hearing the diagnosis, head coach Steve Kerr expressed relief that the injury was to Curry's quad rather than a more severe ankle or knee issue, though the team remains cautious about how long the star guard might be sidelined. Curry, at 37 years old, continues to be a dominant force, averaging 27.9 points, 4.0 assists, and 3.7 rebounds across 16 games, all starts, this season. His presence on the court is unmatched, not only in scoring, but also in his historic achievement as the NBA's all-time leader in three-pointers in both the regular season, with 4,133, and in the playoffs, totaling 650. The implications of Curry's potential absence extend beyond simple scoring concerns. Kerr acknowledged that losing Curry, even temporarily, would necessitate adjustments across the board for rotations to offensive schemes and the roles of other key players. In this context, Kuminga's impending return gains even more significance. His ability to contribute on both ends of the floor could help mitigate the gap left by Curry and provide the Warriors with some breathing room as they navigate a challenging stretch. For Kuminga, returning to game action is not just about regaining personal rhythm and confidence, but also about stepping into a team environment that urgently requires his skill set to regain its offensive balance. Since entering the league, Kuminga has displayed flashes of brilliance that suggest he can be a cornerstone for the Warriors' future, combining athleticism, versatility, and a growing understanding of the game at a high level. The challenge now lies in translating those skills into consistent production after an injury layoff and finding a rhythm that complements the team's stars. Given the Warriors' current struggles to score efficiently, every possession and contribution matters more than ever, making Kuminga's health and readiness a critical factor in the upcoming schedule. As the team evaluates its options and monitors Curry's recovery, The coaching staff will have to make tactical decisions that maximize the strengths of returning players while maintaining the cohesion that has historically propelled Golden State to success. While fans eagerly await Saturday's game, there's a palpable sense of anticipation surrounding Kuminga's return. His presence on the floor brings not only scoring potential, but also a renewed energy and defensive versatility that the Warriors have missed during his absence. The forward's return could influence matchups, provide the team with additional depth, and help alleviate some of the pressure on other key contributors who have been shouldering the bulk of the offensive load in recent weeks. In addition, observing how Kaminga integrates back into the lineup could provide valuable insight into his role for the remainder of the season, whether as a starter or a key rotational player who brings dynamism off the bench. Kuminga's path back is emblematic of the larger challenges the Warriors face in maintaining competitiveness throughout a long season. Injuries, lineup adjustments, and the ebb and flow of player performance are constants in the NBA, and Golden State's ability to adapt while preserving the chemistry of a championship-caliber team will be tested in the coming weeks. The forward situation also underscores the importance of balancing player development with immediate team needs, as coaches navigate the complexities of minutes management and strategy to maximize both individual growth and collective results. For fans, the return of Kaminga represents more than a simple box score addition. It signals a potential turning point in the team's performance and an opportunity to regain momentum as they approach a crucial stretch of games. As Golden State prepares for its matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans, much of the focus is naturally shifted to how the team will adjust in the absence of Steph and Curry, even if temporarily, and how Jonathan Kuminga's return might fill some of the gaps. Curry's influence on the court extends far beyond scoring. His presence dictates defensive attention, opens up lanes for teammates, and creates opportunities that the Warriors have come to rely on over years of championship-caliber basketball. Without him, the team must explore new dynamics, with younger players like Kuminga stepping into more prominent roles, not just to produce points, but to maintain the flow and identity that have long defined Golden State's style of play. Kuminga's trajectory this season has been closely monitored by both the coaching staff and fans. While the early part of the campaign saw him start each of the first 12 games, providing bursts of athleticism and energy, the shift to the second unit highlighted the delicate balance of expectations versus performance. During his time on the bench, Kuminga has had the chance to refine his approach, analyze matchups, and develop a deeper understanding of how to contribute effectively regardless of his role. Returning from injury, he will need to quickly re-establish rhythm and chemistry with his teammates, particularly in pick-and-roll scenarios, transition play, and defensive rotations, where his speed and versatility can make a tangible difference. The Warriors' current offensive struggles add urgency to this reintegration process. Ranking 22nd in offensive rating places them in a position where every scoring opportunity must be maximized, and the margin for error is slim. Players who can generate points efficiently, create spacing, and take pressure off ball handlers are more valuable than ever. Kuminga's return is not just a chance to inject fresh legs and energy into the lineup. It represents a tactical opportunity for the coaching staff to experiment with rotations and combinations that could revive the team's offensive efficiency. If Kuminga can perform at the level expected of him, the Warriors could see an immediate boost in scoring output, even if Curry is limited or sidelined for a short period. Meanwhile, Curry's recovery timeline remains uncertain, and his injury, though a quadriceps contusion rather than something more severe, requires careful management. The team cannot afford to rush the two-time NBA most valuable player back onto the floor, as doing so could risk further injury or disrupt long-term performance. Kerr and his staff will have to weigh immediate competitive needs against the broader picture of player health and team success. In this scenario, Kuminga's availability is even more critical. His ability to assume responsibilities that Curry normally handles, initiating offense, drawing defenders, and providing scoring in key moments, could stabilize the team while the star guard undergoes treatment and rehabilitation. The importance of Kuminga's defensive capabilities should also not be overlooked. Golden State's style relies heavily on switching and pressure defense, and having a forward capable of guarding multiple positions effectively allows the team to maintain its strategic flexibility. Kuminga's size, athleticism, and instincts give him the tools to contribute immediately in these schemes, particularly against high-scoring opponents like the Pelicans. His return offers the possibility of tightening rotations, reducing the minutes burden on other key players, and providing more sustainable energy levels throughout the game. This dual impact, offensive and defensive, highlights why his recovery is closely watched by the coaching staff and fans alike. Beyond the X's and O's, there is a psychological dimension to Kuminga's return. A healthy, confident player coming back from injury can provide a spark that resonates throughout the locker room and on the court. His presence may energize teammates, shift momentum during games, and influence the overall pace and intensity of play. The Warriors, who are seeking to regain a sense of consistency in their performances, could benefit from such a boost, especially as the schedule presents challenging stretches against competitive Western Conference opponents. Integrating Kaminga seamlessly while maximizing his strengths will be a key task for the coaching staff, as the team navigates both short-term objectives and long-term development priorities. For fans, watching Kaminga step back into the lineup is a moment of anticipation and hope. His athleticism and potential make him one of the more exciting young players in the league, and seeing him translate that potential into consistent production is part of what keeps followers engaged and invested. The interplay between his performance and the team's overall fortunes will likely shape narratives for weeks to come, as Golden State attempts to regain offensive efficiency, maintain defensive solidity, and manage the health of their veteran stars. In this environment, every possession becomes an opportunity, every matchup a test, and every contribution from returning players like Kaminga a possible catalyst for change. As the game against New Orleans approaches, the Warriors staff will be meticulously planning rotations, matchup strategies, and minutes distribution to ensure that both returning and active players are optimized for performance. Kuminga's conditioning, reaction to game intensity, and ability to execute on both ends will be closely monitored, not just for the sake of the upcoming game, but for broader insights into his readiness and role for the remainder of the season. With Curry's health still a variable, the responsibility placed on Kaminga and other young contributors is significant. Their performance may well determine how Golden State navigates the immediate challenges and positions itself for success in the games ahead. Ultimately, this period represents a crucial junction for the Warriors. Balancing player health, integrating returning talent, maintaining competitive performance, and finding ways to sustain offensive efficiency will define how the team progresses. Kuminga's return is central to this equation. The combination of his scoring potential, defensive versatility, and youthful energy has the capacity to influence both individual games and the team's trajectory over the coming weeks. As fans prepare to watch Saturday's matchup, there's a sense that Golden State is poised to reclaim momentum, with Kuminga's presence potentially serving as a turning point that could shape outcomes in ways both expected and surprising. The narrative of the season, already rich with highs and lows, continues to evolve as injuries, returns, and strategic adjustments intersect on the court. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. It's the kind of locker room chatter that can rock a franchise, and sources close to the Golden State Warriors are buzzing about a seemingly impossible rumor gaining steam. Could veteran guard Dennis Schroeder already be having second thoughts about his move to the Bay Area? While Schroeder has always been known for his outspoken confidence, the whispers suggest a deeper level of discontent than a simple bad performance or a rough patch in the schedule. The word circulating amongst team insiders and agents is that the German international has expressed, in what is described as no uncertain terms, a genuine regret over his decision to join the Warriors during the last offseason. What's fueling this purported dissatisfaction remains the subject of intense speculation. Is it a question of role definition? Schroeder, accustomed to being a primary ball handler and focal point in past teams, may be finding his opportunities limited by the established hierarchy and star power in Golden State. Could it be a clash of playing styles, with the Warriors' fluid, motion-heavy offense not gelling with his preference for pick-and-roll dominance? Or perhaps, as some suggest, it relates to the financial aspect, feeling that the sacrifice made to join a contender isn't translating into the on-court prominence he desired. He expected to be the main engine off the bench, maybe even challenge for a starting spot, but it hasn't played out like that. One source anonymously confided, adding that Schroeder allegedly feels a disconnect between the preseason assurances and the reality of his minute allocation and usage rate. The optics, of course, are terrible for the organization, as they pin significant hopes on Schroeder providing stability and secondary playmaking. For now, these are merely high-volume whispers and unconfirmed leaks, a burgeoning brouhaha that the Warriors' front office will be keen to smother before it becomes a full-blown media spectacle. A player of Schroeder's caliber voicing such a potent sentiment, if true, signals trouble and could force the team's hand in evaluating the current roster composition well ahead of any trade deadline. Keep an eye on the subtle shifts in the rotation. The smoke around this rumor is thick enough to suggest a fire may be burning beneath the surface. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.